We'll open the meeting a couple minutes late on Monday, May 9th, 6:40. Entertain a motion to accept the agendas may be amended.
So moved.
Um,
I don't see anything.
Is there anything
here.
anybody has?
No.
I don't.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off
We'll
with...
start with minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes of April 25th. I was a select board, that's the regular select board meeting. I didn't see anything in here.
No, me neither.
And
There is one thing, when we came out of executive session, and we don't really, no, we left it that there was no action, because then I contacted Gallo, and that's the
Yes.
way we had left it.
that was outside the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, when I
contacted-
saw the first part, I had the same thought.
Yeah, but we did come out and say it was for me first to contact them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. So that's good. Then I'm gonna make a motion to accept the special meeting of April 29th. And there's one of these, no, this, you were in, okay, good. So there was one meeting you were not at, but this is the one that you were. That was one
wasn't
of
there.
the- Yeah,
Okay.
so she has that
Yeah.
right.
And it's just the...
Executive session.
Session with them.
Yep.
So, in favor of accepting the minutes of April 25 and 29, please say aye.
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 Do we have anything select board?
Yeah, so I'm gonna come back to the minutes of April 25th, underneath number 5, the short-term rental appeal by Susan Gallo. And basically in the minutes is showing that there's a fine of $61,200 for not registering in the short-term rental. The board did then do what they said they were gonna do and go into executive session, and that was number 19. We went in at 7:52 and we came in out at 8:40. We made a motion to lower that fine from $62,100 to $6,100. It's less than 10% of the total, and it was also stated that that offer is out there for 30 days. I wrote the email out over the weekend, and I started the 30 days as of today. So up until June 9th is, the fee will have to be paid by June 9th, $6,100, or it stays on the town records as $61,200. I do not go in and change what this board, it's including myself, it's on record for $61,200. I do not go in and lower what the board says, because it's only good for 30 days, and if they don't pay, then I'm not gonna go back in.
There's a full lien of 61.
So it's $61,200 in, what is it on? It's on the deed?
It's the notice of violation is recorded to the deed, so it's attached as a quasi-lien.
Okay. And if they pay it within that time period, then I will go and release the fee from there. If not, then it stays at the $61,200. I'm being asked questions now, phone calls back and forth, emails back and forth, wanting to know if they will be going to a credit collection agency and all this, my credit report, and it's not, but we will be if it's not paid by June 9th, we will be taking this to court.
Yeah, it goes into a collection action at the court.
Right, okay? I just wanted to get that on record.
Okay.
That's my only concern.
Okay. Chris, you good?
I'm great.
Okay. So, between you guys that are here and people who are zoomed in, do you have anything that you would like to bring up that's not already on the agenda? Please let us know by unmuting yourself or raising a hand or something. You guys good for now?
Eli, you got anything to say in citizens' input?
Debbie has something back here.
You have to first mute.
Unmute.
Yeah, okay, I don't. I'm just curious. What did someone do to incur $61,000 in and fines.
200 a day, and she never registered.
$200 a day for never registering.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, that's how it works. Did you have something, Debbie?
Yeah, I think it was the 26th year of doing Green Up Day for Killington, and this year, and we had a pretty good response, but there's still some roads that need to get picked up. And thank you to the town road crew for picking up the bags that people left on the road. And I probably would get a better showing if we had barbecue here after, but maybe next year.
Do you know why, when I went down River Road today, I saw bags tied to a number of the signposts? Do you have any idea what that was for?
I can tell you that.
Okay.
And there's some along Route 100 too.
Okay.
That's our friend Roger Rivera, trying to give hints to people, grab a
Okay.
bag while you're here and start backing them up, and then he'll swing by and pick them up in his truck. So he leaves them out around, and somebody's there, oh, here's another, if they run out of bags, here's a bag.
Okay.
And then he picks them up. He will be going around this
Yeah.
week and picking up what was untying from certain areas,
Okay.
so.
All right, just curious.
Good idea.
That's just his idea of saying, hey,
Yeah,
yeah, these are empty bags.
yeah. I left a box of bags at the front door here,
And there's a box at the
Yeah.
town hall.
at the town hall and at the dump.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I had to go pick up my daughters from college because Friday was the last day. My wife asked me to bring some bags home on Sunday, yesterday, and I think they're gonna go out. I just told them, just collect whatever you can in the green bags, and I'll bring them down to the dump next week.
Yeah,
And we did the same thing last year. If people are still going out this week, the
Yeah.
dump will take them.
Right,
and I have some more bags in my garage.
Yeah, so, okay,
If
Okay,
if you need some more.
yeah. And next year, let's look at the barbecue.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next year, it would be nice. I usually get a lot of the food from Killington Resort, and they're so busy with building their little lodge and and all other things. I didn't want to press them for barbecue food and other people who donate usually, and so I'm pretty happy when I drive around Killington. The roads are pretty clean, but when I go down Route 4 through Mendon and Rutland, oh, it's terrible. You know, when you come up from Rutland on the right-hand side, it's just up from the animal clinic. It's just loaded with trash. Thank you to everybody who greened up.
Thank you. Okay. Is Lucretia here, or are you doing
No,
liquor control?
you guys have the
No, I know it's in
packages.
front of me. I didn't know if she was here to.
She's not, she's on vacation this week,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
So I have in front of me a outside consumption permit for Hops on the Hill located on Mountain Green Condo Association property. Basically, it's telling me that the area would be outside of the sloped windows of Hops on the Hill, 760 square feet, 24 by 20 and 14 by 20 rectangles to make an L-shaped area, using the Mountain Green entry walkway as a border and bordered by raised flower planters and ropes or chains to create the remaining barriers. 6 tabletops.
Do you have two of them?
Um,
Because I have 2 Huckleberries. That's the only reason.
Okay, so I was looking
You
for...
might not have
And
Huckleberry.
then there's a drawing here, beautiful drawing.
Very nice trees.
Yeah, veiny. And then there is the letter from Mountain Green Condo Association, because they do not own. This is what I was looking for, and, yeah, I have 2 Mountain Greens.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Okay. So that's what I was looking for, because they don't own the property, they lease it, and, so I'll make a motion for the town clerk to move forward with, Hops on the Hill LLC, DBA.
It does connect to their licensed area through a doorway. That's the only thing it has to do. So just knowing what I know,
Question, if they come out in the hallway,
That has to be
and then
lit.
they can access?
No, it has to be
If there's no
in,
front door on the building.
there has to be, it has to be, they could license the hallway, they choose,
Uh-huh.
but they have to find out you cannot leave a licensed area by definition.
That
Go to
came
an-
up
Yeah.
with Casey.
Right. So the same thing would hold true. I don't know where their licensed area is. It may be licensed.
And I know part of the reason for wanting to go outside is it gets really hot inside
Oh,
those windows in
brutal.
the summertime.
What is this in here? This is
Chain. Right there?
Yeah, what is that word?
Chain.
Chain, okay.
Yeah, it's-
So, there is no, so, I mean, like I said, the motion is to have the town clerk to move forward. And just like the last time, what we had said was, for Casey's Caboose, they're gonna need to verify that it meets the division of liquor
Yeah.
for, yeah, because I don't see them being able to walk
No.
all the way out the front door.
But they might be licensed in the hallway. I
Yeah.
don't know, but like,
Yeah.
you know, hotels sometimes are.
Yeah,
So they could be.
yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah, or they might have a back door somewhere that leads
Yeah.
out to it. So as long as they meet that
Or you-
regulation.
I think there's a fire exit on the very end, too.
Yeah.
They might be able to use that.
So who's, well, Division of Fire Safety is gonna
Yeah, you gotta keep it clear.
keep that, yeah, you don't
Yeah, as
want.
long as you leave it open, you're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. So, who is gonna be putting this forward? Would it be Lucretia? I'm saying town clerk.
Yeah.
So she's in next week?
Next week, it'll be going to up there next week.
Okay, so I'll just talk to Lucretia to verify that
Yep.
there's a Division of Fire Safety has to.
Yep.
Okay, so the next one up is Huckleberry's Holdings LLC. It's another outside consumption permit. It does state, this one does state that the doorway located on southeast corner of building exiting to an outdoor enclosure approximately 12 by 10 wide, further enclosures opening up to our outdoor area, which is approved. And it's 12 PM to 10 PM, which is the same as the other one. We're all good on that. Mondays through Sundays. We have a beautiful drawing again here. And we have a letter from Robert Salamarley. Anyone that doesn't know him, that is Sal. And he is saying that he approves of the plans for the outdoor space for Mary Lou's Huckleberry Holdings LLC. I make a motion for the town clerk to move forward with Huckleberry Holdings consumption permit. And I think Kevin and Courtney are here if they just want to say something.
Hi.
Hey,
Go ahead, Kevin.
I think that's all he wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. It shows a door right into the space they're talking
Kevin
about.
knows when to be quiet when his thing was permitted to go forward.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck.
Looks like they have a
Thank
door
you.
to it, so we're good there.
Yeah.
All in favor of having the town clerk move forward on Huckleberry Holdings, please say aye.
Aye. And then I have in front of me a renewal for Taco X LLC, a first, a third, and outside consumption. The fee is paid. The last enforcement was May 9th of this year,
It was about 4 hours ago.
4 hours ago, and there's no changes. Okay? And this one here has an outside consumption permit, but we already know that the owner of the building, Robert Salamari, already approved this also once before. So,
I think it's just a renewal anyway.
yeah, it is, but, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They don't own it,
Yeah.
but they already got the letter. We're not making,
It's not a new one.
it's not a new one, so we already have a letter on file. Okay?
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. That's it for, yeah, this isn't liquor, okay? Regional dispatch letter?
Yeah, basically, wanted to bring to the select board because we would be, we want to be committing to a regional dispatch center as of, what's the date, June 30th, 2024. The state is going to no longer be in the dispatch business. We are working with other emergency responding groups that are in Rutland County. WIT's on the committee that's helping form that. We have offered our location But this is to verify that the town is interested, and this was a draft from them. I'm going to be making a couple of edits.
You might want
But-
to edit the date too, there's no
Yeah.
June 31st.
Right. So, basically, it's that the town wants to participate at this point with the group to provide our own dispatch.
So this is not the form we're gonna be signing off on anyway?
No.
Okay.
And this is, well, you're basically authorizing me to sign off unless you want to see it again, because this was just the town manager saying we're interested in going into it.
So basically, it would take over this regional area of 911.
We wouldn't take it over.
We wouldn't take it over. It's going to be, we want to be part of this collective,
Yes,
part of the
correct.
group, and I think there was 24 towns at this point,
Yeah,
or
it's all
20?
police, fire, EMS.
Yeah, there's a several, and the question is, we've offered, because it's digital now, you don't all have to be in one location. So they could have a couple of people dispatching here, a couple of people in Rutland. They're trying to work out the logistics of it. Basically, when the ARPA funds came available, the state's been looking to get out of the dispatch business for quite some time. And this was the opportunity where they're going to put, I believe there's a couple of $1 million available. Basically, they said they would pay for the setup of the locations and 1 year of operations, and then whoever's involved will be dividing up the expense after that.
And who's paying the expense currently?
Well, the state's providing all
State's
of
is
the
done.
dispatch at this point.
It's
So
a
in other
plus
words,
plus
the
for
towns
us.
now are going to pick up this cost.
That's correct. And we don't know what that's
What the
going to be.
cost
We're
is.
going to be going through the process, but we're not going to have dispatch unless we
We
are
don't really have a
proactive at this
choice.
point. That's correct.
I mean,
And
if
if they-
someone dialed 911 in our town, and we
Right,
weren't part of it,
correct.
there would be emergency
Yeah, we
services.
have to do it.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
mean, it's just a matter of, I think it's going to be for the collective good, and the town may benefit significantly where we may be actually manned here 24 hours a day, which would be great.
And would they also dispatch the state police, or would that be a separate call?
No, state, looks like they're getting rid of all other municipalities, they're
So-
gonna dispatch this themselves. It'd be like Rutland Town, it'd be Fairhaven, it'd be,
So if you called the state police, do you call 911 or do you call a separate number?
you can still do 911, or they're non.
Okay, so they'd still be part of the system.
Yeah, it'd just be a separate dispatch, but it'd be different than the municipality dispatching.
So if I called 911 and it came to this office, let's say,
Right.
who are they dispatching? You or state police? Or
It'd be
both?
whoever, whatever officer's on duty.
Okay, but it could be state police.
Could be state if they're on, it could be us,
Yeah.
fire emergency would be.
The 911 call center would still handle the 911 calls, but that is separate from the dispatch center currently. And that would remain the same and would get routed to the appropriate dispatch center. So we're basically doing is offering up the square footage in this building that's been designed for dispatch.
Right.
You know,
Are we offering them any bays?
no.
I have to ask if
Yeah.
it's dispatch.
High rent
Yeah.
district.
And there is the possibility of an additional office if needed. So,
You know, I mean,
But
No, it
either
makes sense for us to be
something
part of it.
Yeah, it's
yeah, we're being
it's a work in
forced to do
progress,
something.
and the hope is,
I would rather see it come
It's not
back.
going to take effect till
It's
July.
not, yeah,
I have no problem
well,
with
it's not
it.
gonna take effect until
2024.
So we're meeting up
Well, just
again.
well, actually,
I didn't see
this
24.
will,
I thought it was this year.
what will happen is,
It's coming.
basically, they were planning to get the offer, this offer is good for like a year, I think, where the state will give us all the money for the setup and the 1 year after that of cost.
I'm just,
But when it becomes real and we know what it's going to cost, where it's going to be housed, then we're actually going to have to sign an agreement, and that will
Yeah.
be back here again.
Yeah, they would.
yeah, but.
This is like a letter of intent to be
Yes.
part of the process.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think we can
I
go
have a
forward.
letter of intent in front of me, and then right now, LOIs and MOUs really
Yeah, we don't want to go down that road.
And, I just
PDQ.
wanna, pinky shake. I got a piece of paper and it's asking me to say yes. I'm good with the intent, but just send me a copy of the letter like we did the last time, and if nobody has anything, then boom. We don't need a meeting for it.
No, I just wanted to put it on the agenda so it's out there that
No, it's
this is
good.
moving forward.
Clean it up and send it to us.
you
If
got it.
anyone has an issue with it, they get in touch with you separately.
As Chris said, they need to put the correct date in.
Well, I need to, because this is from us. That was just their
Oh,
sample.
you, at least you admit it.
No. They sent me this draft, and I have to edit it to be from us. I just got this a couple days ago.
Oh, so you didn't put in June 31st?
No,
I thought leap year might have moved
no, it did
from
not.
February to June.
No, it did not.
Okay. We have a traffic ordinance update?
Yeah, basically, a couple meetings ago, the select board was directing, we wanted to make some changes to both our speed limits and our ordinance. In conversations with our attorney, given that our existing ordinance is 48 years old and has several amendments, he suggested that we move to a new, just start a new ordinance, which has a whole bunch of areas that we'll start with. Whit and I will be making some comments and adding some verbiage to it. But one of the things he did bring up was, in order to bring the new vehicle ordinance into compliance, which we can do right now if we weren't changing anything, but as soon as you add the speeds of 30 or 25 miles an hour, if you're lowering any speeds to that, there's I'm going to call it a quasi-study that has to be done to say, what are the speed issues that you have? I've been in contact with VHB, who is our engineer, who said it's not a big problem, it's actually not a big effort. I'm waiting to hear back from them to give us what the study's going to cost and how quickly we can have it. In the meantime, we'll start working on all the draft language as to what we intend, and once we have that study, we can then put it on the agenda for a select board meeting, and it can be adopted at that time, and it will supersede the old ordinance. There is no public hearing warning, like 15 days. It's a regular select board meeting warning. And then they have up to, I believe, 60 days to appeal it. So after that 60 days is when it goes into effect.
And just to bring whatever, because Chris, myself, and Steve Selbo sat on a road group, and we spoke to VHB about traffic lights and speed going down. Evan, right, had said that it was not an issue. You're just now, and I spoke to Chet this morning, because of the other email, and saying, we've already started this so that's why Chet is now gonna get a price from Evan.
Yeah, basically,
See what it is.
we just have to, there's actually just a form. It's basically just a municipal format you have to follow for this, and it's really kind of a brief study to say there is a warranted reason to be slowing the speeds down. And once we have that, we can then add that information to the ordinance and adopt it.
But that will in no way affect any of the permits for the village up above.
No.
Has no impact on anybody else anywhere.
No.
And how much more money do we have to spend with VHB to have them tell us that we can lower our speed limit to 30?
Well, the reality is, we don't have to use them. They just have most of the data already. But, I mean, sometimes it's done by even non-traffic engineers.
And if we don't do it,
You cannot get out a ticket.
I would just say, let's take that into legal later
Yeah,
in
if it's-
executive session.
It's just if you're lowering the speed limit.
How does it affect the fact that when they told us this, it's because the TIF district went to Route 4?
And I'm just
And
saying,
now
can we
they've
please,
moved it all the way back up to the lookout. And now we're talking about changing the speed limit outside of the district.
yeah, and like I said, I'd rather keep that for executive session.
So, yeah, basically, just so, forgetting that speed limit part of the discussion, probably in June, we would then be able to warn this and actually adopt a new traffic ordinance that would apply. Our existing traffic ordinance calls out 3 traffic signals that no longer exist in it, so we do have to do some updating, and this was the recommendation of our attorney. So we will work on the draft, get the language back to the select board, and once we have this, and I forget how the lawyer phrased it, but it is you got to go through the proper motions in order for this to be
Well, we just have to go through the regular motions of an ordinance.
Right. So
There's nothing new there.
well, the speed limit part I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
there's a certain things we have to do.
Well, you have to do to get to have a
Correct.
warned hearing on an ordinance.
Right. So that's what we're working on, and I would expect that we will have additional information at the next meeting as to what our time frame is for when it will be complete.
Okay. Is there an update for the fire chief search?
Well, the fire chief search, I had planned to have that uploaded today, but I didn't quite get there. Will be uploaded tomorrow. I'm done with the draft and things of that nature. I just want to go through one more time and then get it uploaded so the advertisement is out there. I expect that to be in several locations, and we will then start the process of interviewing and
So
working
who's
the
on your
process.
interview board?
Well, that's what we need to select is who we're gonna put on there, because I would think we need to have somebody from the fire department, probably a select board member. We would need to have, staff, and then, you know,
Oh, no, fire, an arson.
yeah, an arsonist, that would be good. So, basically, I would be looking for any volunteers who wanna serve on the search committee, and so that we can then get this process rolling in the next couple of weeks.
One from the fire department,
Yeah,
one from this board.
Correct.
Yourself,
correct.
okay?
Yep.
And then, are you looking for one, citizen,
We could have a citizen,
Community member.
community member?
community member.
So if you can get that out, so we can have, like, starting tomorrow, that there would be somebody from the citizens.
Yeah.
So, and then Gary, on your fire department, there's fire department, and then there's the other group that may not,
KSAR? You talking
not KSAR. I'm
No, he's talking about the
fire
corporate-
side. You know, there's the business group, and then
Yep.
there's the fire department, and I know at sometimes we don't understand how the whole company works.
Corporation, that
The
is.
corporation, but I don't want to turn out that some people say, well, they didn't ask the corporation, which, the corporation
The
still
corporation-
don't exist,
My recommendation would be the deputy chief.
you know?
That would be my recommendation.
Deputy chief?
Tom Rowe.
So, and I'm just asking you for, so we asked the question here, and
I mean, because the view,
one, so if anybody else
Yeah.
wanted to,
the view would need to be an operational one,
right,
because that's really the direction that it's going,
right,
so.
okay.
So, and then amongst you three, you guys can let me know who wants to sit on that at this point. Cruiser purchase. After Whit found a supplier in Massachusetts that has hundreds of cruisers available, we were able to get some prices, and actually the prices turned out to be better than the ones we had earlier, which is great in this economy. So I've prepared a document so that we can review what it would mean for the budget. When you look at this year's budget, this is just an excerpt from the capital budget that's in the book, modified to include these expenditures. Currently, we're looking to purchase 2 cruisers. One, we're going to purchase outright cash, the $48,004. The other one is $4,000 more because that one doesn't have the trade-in, and that is leased over 5 years. I've estimated a lease payment over the 5 years.
Can we give them the car that's down at Truman's place for the trade-in?
Yeah, we can do that.
Can we give Truman back the $500?
So looking at that process, with the existing funds that are in the capital budget, along with the, I don't know why I lost that one. Oh, I highlighted right over them, sorry about that. But with the expenses there, we can make this purchase, start the lease process, and still have enough funds available.
What's that purchase price?
52,504 and 48,004.
So one's 52 and the other's 48?
Right, and they're the same exact vehicle. This is completely upfitted with the paint scheme and ready to go.
So, and what is the residual value of any one of our cruisers right now?
The 4,000 on the one we're trading in, the other one we're holding on to. That's a 2016. Basically, we're going from 2 cruisers to 3 is the assumption in this process. So,
And the one before that we sold for $500.
yes.
No, 7.
Why don't we just lease?
Lease to turn them in.
Yeah.
We can ask that question again. I hadn't
Because
asked them
I
yet.
look at this and we really have no residual value.
Right, and I think you're gonna get almost no residual value, so I think it's gonna work out to be the same thing, and it just gives us the ability, if we had to, for a year, to carry if we don't, but I'm fine with turning them in as well. It's whichever works out the best.
I'm just looking at the numbers, like, why would we give them 52,000 in cash when we could,
Lease both of
we're
them?
just gonna lease them both and give them back to them?
Are you able to be on that spreadsheet to do that? We lease both of them, so we see what it does to the balance?
So I just didn't
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was just trying to understand it, that's all. I heard we got 4,000 today, and last time we got 500.
Well, the one 500 sat at the dump for 2 years with.
The hole in the frame,
Hey, it still has its stickers on the door.
You know.
one side.
Only one.
Yeah, you can grab the other half off.
So 2028, if that's right, that has to change.
Well, that was buying the next one cash.
We'll take
That's
that
what it
out,
was, so I can take that out.
Right.
If I take that out, that we would be starting the lease again. So I would be able, and just so you, and the other piece of this, when you look in the current 2023 year, you'll see radar speed signs, 13905, that's upgrading the 3 signs that we have now that are electric signs to be able to put up messaging and things of that nature.
You got my sign, right, Whit?
Yes.
What are you nice, like Chester? We're on the holidays.
So basically, when we were looking to get the cash, we had upped the annual appropriation, but we would be able to reduce that.
Yeah, but what I'm
significantly.
saying is that I have a sheet in front of me that's saying balance forward, buying one and whatever, that in 2028, there'd be 50,908.
Right.
So.
We could
I
take
mean,
10,000 out of the appropriation and then lower it down to 24,000. So it's either way, you have the choice. But I have
Hold on a
the,
second.
Basically, we're appropriating 45,000 a year plus, okay, as it
Right.
grows.
Right.
But our costs on it are only 12,000, so we're 36,000, so we're like.
it all works out to the same thing.
It does, but we just thought, if you're giving them the money now, or you know what I mean, or.
Well, the only question becomes for this,
Right.
because I believe it works out almost the same, where are interest rates in 2 years? You know what I mean? Like, if we had to go get another one, do we want to be able to buy it cash? I don't know. That's really where the question is. See, for a long time, we've been dealing with such low interest rates, it's always made sense to
I'm still
finance.
just stuck on the spreadsheet. So let's start from there. Line number 1, balance forward. Then the bottom one says police department balance 4. I guess that's forward. So on balance forward on the top, what balance forward is that I get to 2028? On top says 50,908, and then balance department, police department balance 4, I guess it's forward, in 2028 says 31,000. But when I look over here, 2028.
I just pulled those 55,000, the purchases
there,
out.
Okay,
So I
so,
just pulled those out.
yeah, so that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
So basically, right now, you're telling me that if we lease the 2 in 2028, once again, my question is what is balance forward?
Balance forward is after, is
I know
your
what balance
carryover-
forward is,
Right.
but on one line, I have on top, balance forward for 2028 says 94,943, and then on police department balance down at the bottom, it tells me 132,000.
Well,
So
this is
which
because.
the
You're gonna
balance
put an
forward?
annual tax
Okay,
appropriation
I
in.
took-
Yeah.
That's that
I
cost.
So you're
took-
putting it at the
The one.
end?
No. If you go back to this plan, I took out, while we were having this conversation, I was gonna change them all to leases forever. Right now, there's 3 purchases of $210,000 that aren't in there. Okay, because in here, at the end of this loan, I had, in
So I-
27, wait a minute, I'll show you the numbers, minus 55,000. And then this is minus 57,000. And this is minus 60,000. Those were all taken out of there. That's why those numbers were that inflated. So you can see where the balances are not carrying over at that extent. And we've added interest into these lease runouts now. I think I added, what did I add? 4%, given where we're going.
Cost.
Right.
So,
I don't get that, because if we're getting a vehicle in 2022, 23, why are we adding, and we're gonna lease them both, and they're set at a certain rate right now for, what is the lease for, 5 years, 4 years?
5 years.
5 years. So why are we putting interest in 23, 24, 25, 26, 27? Why are we putting interest in for the first 4 years?
The only interest
Well,
that's
5
in there
years.
is the lease payment, which has interest in it.
Yeah, but it's set at, that's, it's not an interest, it's the payment.
It's the payment, which has interest
I
included.
thought you had said that you included an extra 4%.
No, 4% is the calculation of the payment
For right now,
for right now.
okay.
That's all that is. And then I had in 27, 28, and 29, cash purchases for the next group of vehicles, for the purposes of trying to determine a,
So what
a limit of what
appropriation.
we can do for miles on these?
no. I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked about this, to this kind of company. I mean, we do that with equipment. Those are all hours-based. I don't know what this will be. I did not look at that option at this point.
So in 2020, if we just, what I'm trying to find out is, I have one here that says, we're leasing one time, and then we're buying everything afterwards.
Correct.
So now I want to see up on the screen that we lease forever, without a purchase. And then after 2000, so 5 years, so 2028, I don't know, use 5% as an interest rate.
So
Or
if I
5%
go
above the
copy,
regular.
paste, and I'm gonna change that to 57,000. And then I'm gonna copy that out to that one. And I'm gonna take that one. Make that 55,000. That didn't work, right? 5,000. Okay. Don't make me put this stupid comma in. Same one. My fingers aren't working right today. Start this one. No, it's gonna be 5%. Go back to 30. So we can do a $35,000 appropriation. It's about $5,000 less for an annual appropriation than trying to get them up to cash the first time, then the number would come down. So it's basically the first 5 years would be a higher appropriation and then it would drop
Okay.
if you do cash
What-
purchases.
What I was trying to get to was that in our annual tax appropriation, that you continued the same annual contribution that you have on the second line, to see compared from buying one and keep on buying to whatever.
That appropriation is the same with a 3% inflation rate.
So
It
in
just multiplies
2000
times 1.03.
2028, I have an appropriation of $50,648. In 2028, you have $39,393.
That's $35,000 times 3% each year, plus 3%.
Can we just put $45,000 in there for now?
In this? The whole thing?
No. In 2024,
Yeah.
put 45,000 with your 3%. Okay. So now, that's apples to apples that you're
Correct.
showing, okay?
Mhm.
So if we buy one now and lease one now, and then we buy the rest of them later, right? This is what I have in front of me. And in 2028, I'm still looking at, there's a balance forward of 50,908. On that one there in 2028, by at least saying we're gonna lease these two, there's $68,251 in there if we make the annual of 45,000 plus 3%.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Because the other fear I had with the cushion that's in there is what we ran into with the trucks we're buying. We're seeing 10% annual increases, and this is before COVID. You know what I mean? Like, the numbers, this is only like a 2% or 3% inflation on the vehicle cost, too.
They'll
So
go
it's
down
not much.
shortly. No one's gonna be able to afford to drive a
You're not
truck.
gonna be able to pay 100% or whatever in
$6 a
7
gallon.
years.
Right, well, and, you know, I'm okay with either way. The goal was, in my view, a little bit of flexibility and having not to pay interest that we don't know what it's gonna be. It was one of the options that was out there.
Yeah, I say right now, we lease the first two for this year,
Yep.
and we have a couple of years to figure it out from there.
Okay.
I just think the residual value, it just
Yeah.
has nothing to it, so why are we gonna lay out this cash?
Well, again, we haven't done a 5-year turnaround. We've been doing 7s, realistically. You know what I mean? So we're
But
going,
they beat the hell out of
because
those
these two vehicles that we have now were both the same thing. They were leased for 5 years, and we've owned them cash for a couple.
Yeah.
You know,
that might even
So we
be
can always
better.
buy them cash at the end if we
Right.
chose.
Yeah,
but-
dollar buyout.
Let's just lease the two right now.
Okay.
Do you need a vote for that?
Motion.
No, I'm technically spending more than the $40,000. It's just an authorization to go purchase the two vehicles on a lease.
Right. Okay. They are equipped for EMT.
Yeah, they'll run bags in there.
Is that price in these prices or no?
No, the EMT stuff's not priced in there.
We're trying to get it so that.
What do you need to price
into? Also, we want to get police officers that are also
Okay.
EMT trained as we move down the line for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So any police officer we hire is going to either be EMT or needs to go through and get their EMT.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
not really. I mean, I've been going through meetings, the computer system, I had a 2-hour meeting the other day, and basically, if you remember when we first started this, it was going paper instead of the computer. And so some of the data that I'm reading in there is not, I'm reading incorrect data. And I just gave authorization for them to go and clear it up. I received an email, there's no cost for what we have to do. And we have 583 currently signed up. There's 10 in the loop to be signed up. By the end of the week, they'll be, and then the payment will come through. The other thing is, there's $108,000 worth of funds that have come in, but those are funds that have come in directly to lodging revs to us, that's gone through the thing. If someone decided to send a check, it's not in that number, which I have a couple of them. If somebody decided to pay directly to the town instead of the website, it's not in that number. So I figure we probably have about $112,000, and I would think, Chet?
For $112,510.
So when I go to lodging revs, they tell me it's 108.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
But the other money's
But
coming
the
in.
other money, it is coming in, it's just the way.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get it on board that it's, up to date. So I was thinking it was about 110.
Great.
So, all right, it's going along, we're getting there. And number 9 is gonna make a big
Mhm.
change for
Yep.
certain things.
Would you check with citizens again?
Sure.
Are we ready at that point?
Yeah, well, we're zipping through.
So if anyone that's zoomed in or anyone that's here has something that we haven't discussed already, or you want to comment on something we did discuss, just let us know. Eli, you look like you're unmuted.
Right, I was going to say thank you but I have nothing to add, but thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Kurt, you lit up.
It's like the light went on.
But there you
I
go.
raised my hand.
And your light went on.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, well, I'm moving. The light is right up there.
All right.
So this letter about the dispatch office, can I get a copy of that?
I will send you a copy of the draft that I complete. This was something that was suggested to us, and I can send you what I'm gonna prepare and send to the select board.
Okay, and can I talk to you maybe about more details of how that's all gonna work? That sounds really interesting.
Anytime you'd like,
Thanks.
except for the
Chad.
next 2 weeks.
Where are you going, to Jersey?
No, actually, I'm not going anywhere. I just was.
Okay, thank you, Chad, and
Thank
thank the rest of you as well.
okay. Thank you, Kurt.
Debbie, anything?
Shed permit? Shed permit.
Yeah, so that's gonna be other business,
Oh, okay.
so.
Where they have
Can I,
other business.
Oh, what?
is it too late to add something?
Go ahead there, Eli.
Jim, I haven't seen you in so long. That beard is new. It looks great.
Yeah, how about my haircut?
Your haircut looks good too.
Thanks.
Blocks alone.
I hope I look as good as you when I'm your age.
Thanks.
Chad,
And you too there, Kurt. What are we pushing, 84, 85?
and close.
So, other business is gonna,
Under other.
zoning. I've had, the tent over at Mountain Meadows that came in that we said last week. I haven't caught up with, Josh over there, but, we passed it. We now have in front of us, and we have to push this guy to the side, but, the pickle barrel, no jacks, with the shed that goes outside, okay, for the music, the band, there's no TV or anything like that in it. That's just another for, the COVID, and I told Chris when he came in with a permit, the zoning permit for it, I was like, no, these are the things that for this is the last year, hopefully, but,
I mean, this is the last summer, right? Because we're done again on November 1st.
Right. So, I'm gonna make a
Year of COVID.
motion, yeah, last year of COVID too. I'm making a motion like we did on Mountain Meadows for the tent, but this time for Jack's to have the, music shed put back out front on the deck for the summertime. And there is no zoning and there is no, fee for it for this year.
Is there anything about how it faces?
It was faced the right way last year. It was
Yeah.
facing outside. That was not the issue. The issue was something else, and
Yeah.
that was taken care of,
Okay, yeah,
all right?
okay, no, I'm fine with it, yeah.
Okay, so, he can't vote on that, because
Right. All in favor
I,
of the shed for
Allow.
Jack's, please say aye.
Aye. All right, I did go to Casey's Caboose for the outside consumption,
Yeah,
and I mentioned it to him, and he said, yeah, he started thinking about that or whatever. He will come back to us with a plan. They already have seating like up front off that big rock there. They may extend it. I said, just come back and tell us what it is. He was all right with it, so.
And
Would it work if they had it at the bottom of the stairs, instead of putting it out there and driving in front of it? If they put it at the stairs so you drove around it, they wouldn't be leaving the area that's been approved.
All they have to do is just include like the walkway or
Okay.
whatever it is. And that's what I ran into the same factor with weddings up above the foundry and stuff like that when we were tenting things.
Okay.
It was never imposed upon us by our former liquor inspector. The new one now says, oh no, it has to be all connected and it all has to be licensed and treated that way.
And that was one of the other things
Okay.
I did say, you need to talk to the Division of Alcohol
Mhm.
to find out what you need to do. We know that it will not pass the way that you're sending it to us now. So like
Okay.
Chris had said earlier with Hops on the Hill, you know, if they want to get their lobby way approved, then like North Star Lodge, I believe the whole lobby is approved
Yeah.
for liquor. That's up to them. For us, we're just here to approve
Yeah,
if it fits the rules. So he's gonna have to go back, and he's okay with it.
okay.
So, that's it for me for other business under zoning.
Do you need
I
executive?
need executive session so we could talk about legal and personnel
Okay. For a motion to go in
at 7:31.
at, okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye.